Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for the start of the second season. This is tournament time. Boys soccer, St. Mary's, ranked number 31 here in Division III, taking on Auburn, ranked number 34. Auburn had to make a little bit of a trip, but now the tournament is now statewide. It's not now southeast and west like it used to be. So now teams travel here, there, and everywhere to get here. St. Mary's in a typical blue, Auburn in the white. And we're underway. So this is win or go home. Brody Lewis in net for Auburn. Jacob Garino, St. Mary's. Christopher Bailey is the head coach of Auburn. Coach Shane McCarrison, Eddie Mercy Kasaki for St. Mary's. St. Mary's trying to get off the slide a little bit. They haven't won. They've had a couple of ties, but they haven't won in a while. Cornell, Cade Cornell, Brody McCarron, Dylan Maroney, and Ida Solis on the back line defensively for St. Mary's, trying to keep it away from Garino. They go to the deep side to Wood. Off Maroney's head, out of play. Maroney pops it up. Wood got a foot on it, but it rolled off and goes out of play. Little senior laden for Auburn. They got 11 seniors. The goaltender is one of them. Carino for St. Mary's is only a junior. St. Mary's looking to get it. They get down, trying to center it. Auburn will kick it out of play. It didn't go out of play. It gets popped straight up. They lined the shot right at the far post. Lewis made the save and threw it upfield. As Cornell heads it away. Wood couldn't pick up the pass coming from Weber. Everybody trying to get a piece of it. It goes out of play. They're calling it off St. Mary's. Maroney can't believe it. He puts two hands on his head saying, I don't believe it. Knocked away by Maroney. Now it's loose. Auburn trying to get to it. And it was Cornell kicking it away. Jackson pushes it up, looking for Miller. Tipped. St. Mary's has to track it down. They tip it to the far side. Maroney bangs it off Auburn out of bounds. St. Mary's will get the throw in down deep. Now I don't understand this. He knocked it off Auburn. I don't know why they gave it to Auburn. Maroney with the header. that was McCarron with the header. They kick it all the way back to Garino. He gets it to the near side and skipped by Maroney. As it got to him, it bounced, took a very quick bounce and just went right by him and went out of play. McCarron kicks it upfield. And gets knocked out by Wood. And there's McCarron again, reaching in, knocking it out. Thrown in play by Almeida. Garcia trying to track it down, gets to it. He got double teamed, has it taken away. St. Mary's looking to get it back. And it gets knocked out by Auburn. Auburn takes it away and knocks it out again. Trying to knock it deep, Auburn knocks it away. St. Mary's from long range. It tipped off St. Mary's. And St. Mary's going to get a corner kick. Auburn knocked it out. St. McCarron and Cornell down with the big 6-footers. Trying to get a head on it, can't. Auburn tips it away. Now they have to hustle back to play defense. Maroney kept it in. And now we got, I don't know, it hit somebody in the hand or somebody made contact, but Auburn's going to get a free kick. Just outside the 45-yard line. Almeida will take it. Headed away by McCarron. And they knock it upfield. St. Mary's with a header, knocks it ahead. Popped up. Auburn knocks it out. St. Mary's will get the throw in down deep. From long range, just slightly high and to the right. It goes out of play. That wasn't too far off. St. Mary's keeps it in. Auburn knocks it away. And they knock it deep, looking for a break. Carino will come all the way out, almost to the 10-yard line. And he'll take his time kicking it away. He boots it high and deep. Kicked back by Auburn. Auburn pushing it down that far side. Trying to give it back. Pass too far away. Picked off. And a little behind the back job didn't work. Up, straight up. St. Mary's gets it, pushes it down deep. Auburn took it away, and they're going to get. I know St. Mary's is lining up the kicker. They're going to call it on St. Mary's. They could have called it on either side, I think. Walking right around, nice takeaway by the defense. St. Mary's takes it back. Blocked by Auburn. Taken away by Auburn. Karen knocks that would-be leading pass away. Auburn went down, no call. They were looking for it. St. Mary's lost it, trying to get it back. Back and forth we go. They knock it deep, they knock it out. Auburn hasn't had really much of a problem getting it into the St. Mary's zone, but they haven't got a shot yet. Garino hasn't had to make any save at all. Only bounces it off Auburn. St. Mary's has had one shot that Lewis made a save on at the far post, right at the post. They had one other shot that went over the net. And they've got it in the Auburn end a lot more than Auburn's had in their end. But they really haven't had a very good scoring opportunity against Garino. In fact, they haven't had any kind of a scoring opportunity against Garino. Weber trying to knock it ahead. Auburn knocks it out. Auburn is looking to make some changes. I still don't understand if the ball goes out of play, and I guess they call it contact, but if the ball goes out of play and there's a stoppage, I don't understand why the players can't come in. McCarron will take the kick. Amir's got a foot on it, but didn't get it anywhere near the net. Cornell punches it high in the air. And Wood got a piece of it, but he was way offside. He was coming back when it hit him in the foot. Auburn knocking it deep down the far side. Auburn will get there first. They keep it in play. They get it out in front. They take the shot, and it goes wide left. Great hustle to keep it in. They threw it across wide open for the shot, and he just drilled it wide left. That's their first scoring bid in this first half. First time they've had the ball down that deep in St. Mary's territory. It was great hustle keeping it in. Outstanding pass to set up the shot. But they just couldn't get it to go. Looking for Wood down the near side. Trying to throw it in front. Auburn got a piece and knocked it away. Maroney pops it up. Sliding and keeping it in was Weber. Wood battling. Knocked it out. Auburn throws it in quickly. St. Mary's takes it away. Out in front, it skipped by. They didn't expect it. Garcia was the most surprised guy in the house. The centering pass, it bounced and it went right by the defender, and it actually went right to Garcia out in front, but he had no idea it was coming. He thought it was going to be blocked. And finally, they give Auburn a free kick. And St. Mary's pushes it right back in the Auburn end. Pass was way behind. They kick it back to Garino. St. Mary's trying to get control. They almost lost it, almost gave it away. Still, they finally give it to Cornell to kick upfield. They were fiddling and diddling and almost took it away. Karen gets a foot on it. St. Mary's squeezes through a couple of defenders to get it back to the Auburn end, and Auburn knocks it out. No score here in the first half. This is Division III tournament. Last game of the season for one of these teams. Players will get ready for whatever they get ready to go do, whether it's basketball or hockey or track. In front, they call Auburn offside. They wait a little while to blow that whistle. Auburn was way offside. Carino will kick it away. He puts it deep again. Takes a big hop. St. Mary's trying to keep it in. Auburn knocks it out. They couldn't keep it in. Went into the Auburn bench area. Back to McCarron. Upfield looking for Miller, deflected off his foot. And it goes out of play. Maroney will put it in play. And knocked out again. So Maroney do it again a little further down. Maroney picked off the pass. St. Mary's keeps it in the Auburn end. Jackson, I think they call him. I wonder if they're going to blow the whistle. He get a little outlandish push. If I could see it from here, the official must have been able to see it. They did call it. And they'll get the free kick from their own 40-yard line. High in the air, out of play. McCarron knocks it deep. Wood with it, gets by one. Back to Maroney. Auburn steps in front of the pass and picks it off. Cornell does the same thing on the other side. Pops straight up in the air. Cornell got a head on it. Wood boots it high and deep to the far side. St. Mary's gets there, looking to get control. Auburn takes it away. Knocked out again by Auburn. And with the score 0-0 here in the first half, we're going to get a timeout. As they come out of the timeout, we're halfway through and now counting this scoreless first half. St. Mary's has kept it in the Auburn end more often than not. But they've only got really one shot from the far side. They shot it. Lewis made the save right at the far post as Auburn makes wholesale changes. And then they got one more shot that went wide right, high wide right. Auburn hasn't come close. They got one hustle play that picked off the ball and got it out in front. And they had that one shot, and it went way wide left. Bodies got down. They jumped over the body. I don't know if that was Miller or not. Jumping over the body that went down, trying to keep control of the ball. St. Mary's knocks it deep, trying to throw it out in front. They got a head on it out in front, and it went over the net. I think that was Garcia. Great hustle. I think it was Miller. Got it, beat the defense, threw it out in front. Garcia went up, dead center of the net, got a head on it, and knocked it over the net and out of play. It's a busy day for St. Mary's fans. They have boys soccer here, and just about an hour after this one ends will be St. Mary's football taking on Archbishop Williams for the second time in a week in the state tournament. Auburn knocks it deep. McCarron's there to knock it back the other way, and he knocks it out of play. Fortunato put it in play for Auburn. Jackson pushes it up. St. Mary's got a break. They try to center it. There was nobody home. They had a break down the far side, but the pass forced them to stay wide. Couldn't collect and cut in. He had a good shot. So he tried to center it, but there was nobody catching up to help out. Auburn will let it go out of play. Auburn back checks and takes it away. Again, a little too much one-on-one, I think, by Auburn. Lead pass just a little too far. Wood was breaking, but he just couldn't get around the defender to go get it, and it was just far enough ahead of him that it went out. And we got another substitution for Auburn. Auburn gets it coming down the middle. They knock it long and deep. Takes a big hop. Carino will come out of the net, play it to the near side, and he'll boot it away. Another high, booming kick past midfield. He's got to be careful. He's going to bring rain. Miller pushes it up. St. Mary's controlling it down the far side. St. Mary's takes it away. And it went out off St. Mary's. Still 0-0 here in this first half. And we got a whistle for contact for St. Mary's, and the official's coming up. For some reason, he doesn't talk to the St. Mary's player. Yeah, two players give a little bit of a hug. That was Maroney. Cornell hustles and gets ahead on it. Headed away by McCarron. Wood pops it up. Weber trying to knock it deep. St. Mary's will collect down the far side. Auburn gets there and knocks it out. Just as they turn to try and kick it in the middle, the Auburn player stepped in and knocked it out. Now the shot goes wide right from long range. So neither goaltenders have been tested, especially Garino. It hasn't been deep in the St. Mary's end, hardly at all. The one time it was there, they got a good opportunity to score, but they kicked it way wide left. And St. Mary's just kept it in the Auburn area. Now they blow the whistle against Auburn. St. Mary's will get their first free kick. McCarron will take it just inside the 40-yard line. Actually, their second free kick. Line drives it. Shot hop by Lewis with Garcia bearing down on him. Garcia was trying to get a piece of it. Lewis grabbed the shot hop and held on. Miller got around one, but couldn't get around two. Cornell gives it back to McCarron. To Maroney. He threw it behind Weber. Actually, he threw it behind Weber. It was right in the lap of Wood. Kicked it upfield. Lewis comes out, grabs it out around the 5-yard line, and he'll kick it away. Blocked off Jackson. Miller took it away. Amir's not going to get there. It goes out of play. Both teams will make substitutions. That's kicked a mile in the air. Tipped around. St. Mary's collects. And it's taken away. trying to knock it deep, headed away. Garcia got a foot on it, but tipped it backwards. Auburn has it taken away. Player went down, no call. Now it gets knocked out. And calling it off Auburn. Auburn knocked it out again. They knock it deep. And they shoot it wide right and out of play. And that's all they've been able to do. That's only the second time they've been inside the 15-yard line. And both times they knocked it. First time wide left, this time wide right. Headed away by St. Mary's. And he grabbed, pushed, and bumped into Miller as he tried to squeeze through. St. Mary's will get a free kick. They move it back just inside the 40-yard line. McCarroll will take it this time from the far side. Auburn knocks it away. Maroney throwing it in front, skips past. St. Mary's had it, but it was knocking them away from the net. The ball bounced and took a wacky hop back upfield rather than to the net, so they couldn't get a shot off. And when they finally tried to knock it ahead, they knocked it out. Couple of heads. Cornell's misfired, chipped it off the side of his foot. Miller trying to get it. And Miller takes it away. Got knocked down for his effort. And it got knocked out. Auburn thought it was theirs. St. Mary's got the throw in. Knocked away from the net by the defense. Garcia hustling. Has it knocked away. And Auburn knocks it out. Lynn has got Lynn Tech boys, St. Mary's girls, St. Mary's boys soccer in the tournament. And classical and St. Mary's boys football. Deflected out. And this is why I always say that people have the wrong idea about Lynn sports. I mean, we've got 3 soccer teams in the tournament. classical girls are in the tournament as well. So we got 2 boys teams and a girls team. We've got 2 football teams. 3 if you count Kip. Walking in, they threw it, banged it off the side of the net. They were too deep, too close to the net, too far down. They couldn't get it out in front. They got it off the side of the net. When you add up the wins and losses of the teams inland, you look and say, we're better than 500 with team records, considering we have 5 high schools, and we also have players going to Fenwick and St. John's Prep, and remember a couple of years ago, there were people going to Essex Tech. I know a couple of the basketball players that were supposed to come back to English went to prep school where their coach went to coach. So there were players being taken away. I know the young middle school player who everybody was raving about, where, is he going to go to English or classical? Somebody's going to get a great player. He went to prep school. So when you spread the talent around the way it's spread around, it's amazing the number of teams we have qualifying for the state tournament. You know, 2 out of 4 boys teams, 2 out of 4 girls teams, 2 out of 4 boys football teams. I think that's pretty good. I think our track record is very good. There are times, basketball, we have more than that. Hockey, we have, at one point, we had 3 of the 3 teams in the state tournament. We always have 2 out of 3. Basketball, we're right there, boys and girls. And once again, St. Mary's takes it back to the Auburn end. Bumping and banging going on, and now a real bump and bang. A real bump and bang as they knock the Auburn player down. And they just gave a yellow card to the St. Mary's player for, after he blew the whistle for contact on Auburn, he nailed the St. Mary's player, just flattened the Auburn player, and now he goes over and gives him a yellow card. So the officials are now talking over. The kick is going to come from the 15-yard line at a little bit of an angle by McCarran. The officials still having a discussion. I know they're going to move that picket fence of Auburn because they're too close. They move them all the way back to the 5-yard line. They're still a bit close. It's supposed to be 10 yards away. Knocked away by Auburn. He put it right in the middle of the net. Auburn knocked it away. Cornell heads it back. Cornell trying to knock it deep. Broken up nicely by Maloney. Anticipated the pass, stepped right in front, picked it off, and Auburn knocks it off. Maloney out of play. St. Mary's on the run. Ball bouncing. They just chipped it wide right and out of play. We're late in the first half. No score in this Division III preliminary game. St. Mary's the number 31 seed. Auburn number 34. That's why St. Mary's gets the home game. And that'll be it. They'll be on the road from here if they win. That pass went right across, touched by nobody, and Auburn knocks it out. Down the near side, Auburn's going to watch it go out of play. And they were forced to knock it out of play because St. Mary's was going to step in front and take it. So good hustle. Forced Auburn to knock it out. St. Mary's will get a corner kick. Auburn heads it away. St. Mary's, it was bouncing and they just drilled it high, way up, over, and out of play and out of sight. It bounced out wide open and up around the 15 or 20 yard line. But it was bouncing a little bit high and they got under it and just lifted it, knocked it way out of play. They're going to get Auburn. The header, St. Mary's is there to knock it away, and Auburn snuck in behind him and gave him a little nudge. So McCarron will get to kick it away. St. Mary's trying to keep it in. Auburn knocks it away. Here comes Maroney again. He'll throw it in after Auburn knocked it out. So they blow the whistle, and that's the end of the first half. So we end the half the way we started the half. Dead even. St. Mary's dominated. They had the ball in the Auburn end most of the time. Auburn got inside the 20-yard line twice. One shot went wide left. One shot went wide right. St. Mary's had a few shots. They missed the net. Neither goaltender has really been tested at all. And this Division III preliminary game is left to the second half to see if anybody can get on the scoreboard. It's St. Mary's nothing, Auburn nothing at halftime. Welcome back to Manning Field as we're set to start the second half in this Division III preliminary game. No score, St. Mary's and Auburn. And for those of you watching, we hope you were, on Channel 15, games ended up a tie. They ended a tie. But no ties today. They will go into overtime or a shootout. So we're underway. As we mentioned at the end of the half, St. Mary's dominated territorial-wise. Auburn got inside the 20-yard line twice. One shot, they set up perfectly. It was right out dead center, a perfect position, and he shot it wide left. Then they got one more shot inside the 20, and it went wide right. And neither one were close. I mean, they were way off. So it was virtually all St. Mary's in that first half. But neither team really tested the goaltender. Carino in that for St. Mary's. Lewis. Carino really only touched the ball when his team tipped it back to him and he was able to kick it away. He didn't have to catch anything. Lewis caught one shot coming from the far side at the near post. Bodies go down. The ball goes out of play. They didn't call anything. They let them play a little bit there. McCarron with a little body block. The difference today is the sun is bright, but it hasn't been a problem as it has been in the past with, looking to the left and being blinded by the sun. Weber had it, Auburn knocked it away and knocked it out. Solis puts it in play. Garcia pops it up. They're looking for Miller. Auburn knocks it deep. And there's Garino again. This is the only time he touches the balls when he comes way out of the net, picks up the loose balls and kicks them away. So here's got a foot on it, but Auburn picked it off and cleared it away. They try to knock it upfield. Auburn got a piece of it. Try to center it. Auburn picked it off. Solis. Ahead to Miller. Pass a little bit behind. They got to chase it down. Pop straight up in the air. Bodies go down as Auburn clears it away. They bang it off Auburn. So St. Mary's keeping it in the Auburn end, but they can't get a shot. Blocked by Cornell. And St. Mary's takes it right back to the Auburn end. trying to tip it down the far side. Auburn picked it off and knocked it out behind the St. Mary's bench. It stays in the Auburn end. They'll get the throw in. He threw it in, and they weren't expecting to get it back. He was still offside, still outside the line, and they couldn't touch it. They just rolled out of play. Auburn picks it off. St. Mary's takes it back, knocks it deep. Auburn trying to let it go. And it just creeps across the line. Auburn will get to kick it away. Headed straight up in the air. It bounces by Auburn. And St. Mary's knocks it deep. And they take it away, and they're back again, knocking it deep. It was way out of the net, way out to the 5-yard line, almost to the sideline, diving on that loose ball. And he'll kick it away. St. Mary's got away a little bit of a push. Pop to the far side. St. Mary's collects. Trying to get it. They get it right to the net, right in the middle. Lewis makes the catch with a couple of blue shirts bearing down on him. One was Miller. I think the other one was Jackson. St. Mary's takes it away. They got knocked down. They'll get a free kick. McCarron will take it from the 35, almost dead center. Off to the left. Auburn will let it go out of play. Hooked it wide left. Keeps looking more and more like we're going to have a shootout here. Cornell knocks it too deep. It's going to bounce right over the St. Mary's bench area. St. Mary's saved it right at St. Mary's bench area. Down the far side. St. Mary's got bumped and knocked down, no call. Now, it went out. Blow the whistle. We're going to take it a little bit further up. They had to take it further down. Auburn knocks it out again. Almost like a corner kick, but it'll be a throw-in. Auburn knocks it away. Cornell will track it down and boot it back up to the near side. Miller trying to get around. Miller got knocked down, and they'll get another free kick. I thought they were calling Miller a take. I didn't see the ball go out. I thought they were calling it a free kick. Miller, again, trying to get around, gets double teamed. Gets knocked out by Auburn. Look at the lead pass. Weber's pass got blocked. It gets blocked again. They knock it deep. McCarron tips it by, collects, try to knock it deep. Auburn got a piece of it. Trying to walk in, they take the shot. It goes dead center over the net and out of play. Only the third time they get inside the 20-yard line. Fighting off a couple of defenders, the ball was bouncing up at almost waist high. And they got under it and kicked it right through the uprights. It's worth 3 in football, but it's worth 0 in soccer. Down the near side, Solis. Behind the back to Miller. His pass got blocked. And Solis blocks it but knocks it out. Solis battling to keep control. Auburn finally knocks it out. Knocked away right to St. Mary's. And it went out of play. And they throw it out. St. Mary's will get the throw in right in front of the St. Mary's bench. Still no score here in this Division III preliminary game. Auburn knocks it out. Shot, wide left, out of play. As much as St. Mary's has dominated territorial-wise, they still haven't got a real good shot on net. McCarron will tip it back. Garino will boot it away. It's going to go out of play. Just about 15 minutes into the second half. St. Mary's kicks it away. They waited a while to blow the whistle. St. Mary's went down. They picked the ball up. They carried it about 10 yards, and then they blew the whistle. There was no question he got taken down. But it was almost like they weren't going to call it. And then, I guess we will. and they'll get to kick it away from their own 35. They give it to Maroney. Block. Maroney gets it back. Tries to boot it deep again. St. Mary's down the far side. Tipped. And it's going to go out. Auburn puts that in play in the deepest part of the playing area, way over in the far corner. Pass in front, couldn't complete it. Now battling to get it back. Shot popped straight up in the air. Lewis coming out of the net. Everybody went down. Miller, I think, collided with Lewis. They blew the whistle for that. They might have blew it. Miller was offside first. Everybody went down. Miller, the goaltender, one of the defenders, that was high in the air, right in the middle of the net, out in front. Garcia comes away with it, tries to go deep. Auburn will knock it out of play. Miller quickly puts it in play. Solis. Headed away by Auburn. Auburn keeping control. Blocked nicely by Cornell. Solis pushed it up. Looking for Cornell. Auburn knocked it out. And Auburn takes it away. We've got a push against Solis. Colliding with McGrail, knocking him down. It bounced by McCarron, and Garino has to come out and get it. They knocked it deep. McCarron was there, going to knock it upfield. It bounced right over him. And luckily for St. Mary's, Garino came up and was there to get control and kick it away. Knocked upfield by Cornell. St. Mary's trying to knock it deep. Auburn knocks it right in the middle of the St. Mary's bench area. Well, that kick goes wide right. That's been the history of Auburn. Wide right, wide left. Garcia pushing it up and pushed it too far. Auburn will get the throw in. just past the halfway mark of the second half. Still no score. Cornell hustles, knocks it 8 miles in the air, bouncing around. Bodies go down as he heads it away. St. Mary's clears the area. Trying to knock it deep. Auburn blocked it. Maroney hustles and knocks it upfield. They were looking for that pass in the middle. It skipped behind. They almost completed it to Miller coming in. Cornell back. He's played very well back there. Knocking that play away. Deep down the far side. And St. Mary's just a little nonchalant push, knocked Auburn down to try and get control. As the lights come on here at Manning Field. They banged in to St. Mary's. Contact against Auburn. St. Mary's will get a free kick. Garino's going to take it. Coming from his own 35-yard line. And he boots it high and deep. Auburn knocks it away. I'm not sure why they blew the whistle there. He picked off the pass. He was dribbling it up. He crossed the 35-yard line. And they blew the whistle for something. We're going to have one of those face-offs like they have in hockey, because I think what it was an inadvertent whistle, and I think it's going to drop it down and put it back in play. Auburn had the ball. They put it back in play. I think that's what it was. I think it was just an inadvertent whistle because there was no reason to blow the whistle. And there's a bump and a half, little hip check on Cornell as the ball goes out of play. Auburn will make a couple of substitutions. St. Mary's hasn't subbed that much. "17 minutes and counting in this 0-0 game. St. Mary's picks it off. Broken up. It went out. And they're calling it off St. Mary's. Miller got a head on it. Auburn knocks it deep. Maroney is there. He knocks it back the other way. Garino was coming out of the net to field it. That's the only time he's really touched it. In those long kicks, and he just boots it high in the air and out to midfield. As quick as Auburn gets it up in the St. Mary's end, takes it St. Mary's takes it right back. Body's going down. They finally blow the whistle and call it against Auburn. Well, St. Mary's get a free kick just inside the 30-yard line from a little bit of an angle from the far side. McCarron will take it. Bounces loose. Nobody could get it. Auburn finally clears it away. Blocked and cleared away by Auburn. Cornell will knock it back to Garino. And he gives it back to Cornell, who boots it back upfield. And we're going to get St. Mary's for climbing the back. So Auburn will get the free kick. We mentioned St. Mary's trying to get back off the slides. They got 11 wins, but they haven't won. This being the first week in November, they haven't won since like mid-October. Line shot right into the midsection of Garino, right in the middle of the net. He came out almost to the goal line, but it was right in the middle of the net. And that's the first real shot that they've put on net. And that came from long range, and that's the first time Garino has touched it. Just about in front of the St. Mary's bench, Auburn will put it in play. With just under 13 minutes left in this 0-0 game, we're going to timeout down in the field. So both teams have talked it over on the sideline with coaches. See if they can make something happen in the last 13 minutes of regulation. So I'm not sure what the format is. I don't know if they play like a 5-minute overtime or go to a shootout. They got to get out of here soon. There's a football game at 6:30. And we got Auburn call for a grab, spin, turn around. McCarron quickly is headed away by the Auburn defense. St. Mary's couldn't control it, was bouncing around. St. Mary's saved it from going out. Now it goes deep. Good hustle. Again by Cornell. He's really playing well. Looked like Auburn might have a break. He got there quickly and knocked it out. And that shot might have been on net. Might have looked like it was going to go wide right. Garino came out and played it. Miller got a head on it. Lewis will come out and grab it. Just ahead of Wood. And he'll kick it away. Miller takes it to the middle. Knocks it very deep. St. Mary's trying to center it. Knocked it high over the net and out of play. And we'll get subs for both teams. Ten minutes and counting left in this scoreless battle here in this preliminary round. We mentioned the winner moves on, the loser packs it in, gets ready for hockey or basketball or track. Get a job to make money for college. Those are the seniors, obviously. St. Mary's has 9 players that are sophomores or freshmen. One of those is a 6th grader. Free kick, almost a corner kick, a little closer. Auburn with an opportunity here. This is their best chance of the game so far. Blocked, tipped, and blocked again. And now they'll get a corner kick. He didn't do that very well. He didn't take the corner kick. He tried to tip it away and get a kick from a different angle. And it got totally blocked. St. Mary's coming back, pushing it in, looking to walk in. I was saying try. I think that was Miller. And the shot didn't quite get to the near post from the far side. It went to the side of the net and out of play, but a good effort. Down the near side, way just too far out in front. He was breaking, he could have walked in. And he kicked it off the side of the foot. St. Mary's picks it off. And they knock it deep the other way. They had a good break down the near side, but the pass just too far out in front. Now they kick it cross field. Miller will track it down. Centers it. Couldn't get the shot off. Bouncing around out in front. St. Mary's can't get a foot on it. Now they get a foot and they knock it wide right. Garcia. It was bouncing around. The first player got knocked down trying to get it. It was either Jackson or Weber. And then it popped to Garcia. He had it with an opportunity, and he knocked it wide left. sun is just about setting. Popped up. Headed away by St. Mary's. And they knock it deep. They keep it in down the far side. Trying to get by, trying to center it out in front. Lewis dove and grabbed it right ahead of Garcia. Garcia was looking to tip it. Solis keeps it in. Shot blocked nicely by the defense. As the scoreboard clock is now off, we're down to that final 5 minutes. And we got a takedown. St. Mary's will get a free kick from the 25 from an angle. McCarron with the opportunity. So the time will now be kept by the official down on the field. Headed away by Auburn. And cleared away by Auburn. Battle going on. Auburn takes it away. They knock it deep. Maroney is there. And he knocks it out. And St. Mary's knocks it up. And they take it away. And they knock it deep. Auburn picks it off. Auburn trying to walk in. Cornell broke it up nicely. Shot from long range. Again, right through the uprights, but not on net. Over the net and out of play. Guerrero headed in the Auburn area, knocked away. Cornell got a head on it. St. Mary's takes it away. Auburn picks off the pass. They knock it deep. Foot race. Auburn's going to get there. St. Mary's knocks it away. Auburn got knocked down. Time winding down here in regulation. Nothing to choose between these two. 0-0. We get a free kick. A little closer than a corner kick. Loose out in front. St. Mary's clears it away. It laid there for a second. St. Mary's blocks it. Auburn trying to keep it in. St. Mary's knocks it deep. Garcia knocked it too far in front of him. He was looking to tip it by, go get it. Solis knocks it to the far side. St. Mary's looking to center it. Auburn knocks it away. Maroney trying to get it to the net. Auburn knocks it away. Bodies go down. Maroney comes away with it again. His shot blocked again. And we get St. Mary's with a takedown. So it looks like we're going to overtime. Cornell heads it away. St. Mary's knocks it deep. Auburn's there to pick it off. Knocked deep. Karen gets there and knocks it off Auburn, but almost gave it away. Maroney backing up to play. Knocks it out. Auburn will get the throw in. The Auburn bench is standing up. They let it go through to Garino. There can't be a lot of time left. Auburn bench is going back and forth, standing up, following the ball. Trying to will their team a goal. They blow the whistle. And that's going to do it for regulation. Nothing to choose. So we're going to have to go now wait and see what the format is because we haven't seen it. We're looking at, could be a shootout, could be a 5-minute period, then a shootout. We'll find out momentarily what's going to go on, but through 80 minutes of regulation, nothing to choose between these two teams. They didn't get a whole lot of scoring opportunities. The goalies didn't have to do a whole lot in net. And regulation ends the way it started. St. Mary's nothing, Auburn nothing, with extra session. Let's see what's going on. 0-0 St. Mary's, headed to overtime. We're still here at Manning Field, and we found out what the format is. There'll be a 10-minute period. Sudden death. Anybody scores, the game ends. If nobody scores, we go to a shootout. So we get started. First time we've been this far, the only time we would have overtime, we had it this year in the city tournament because somebody had to go to the championship round. It only happens in the opening round of the city tournament. Somebody has to go to the final. It happened in the opening round, and it wasn't a 10-minute period, it was just a shootout. But now it's a 10-minute period. Anybody scores a goal, it's over. Bodies go down. Auburn will get the free kick from midfield. People here can just stay and watch the football game. Cornell boots it away. It was loose out in front. And Gade Cornell, he's only a junior. He's played very well. Kick again, up over everything, out of play. Eight minutes and counting in this scoreless battle. Neither goalie, I mentioned many times, neither goalie was tested at all in the 80 minutes. And we got another contact. Auburn will get another free kick. Again, coming from midfield. Here he's got a foot on it. Auburn's looking to get a foot on it. I think it was Solis that kicked it out of play, and now they're going to Auburn Alex Mercadante couldn't believe it. He just shook his head like, I can't believe you called it on me. McCarron will kick it away. Popped up. Jackson kept it in play. Weber to Jackson. Back to Maroney, who got drilled and knocked down. He's getting up. And he jumps right up and gets right in the middle of the play. That's why you never know. We always look and say, oh, it looked like he might have got elbowed in the gut and lost his wind, and he's still grimacing a little bit. But as soon as the ball came in his area, he jumped right up, got it, made the play. Now he's coming back and wincing a little bit, but I think a lot of these guys have been watching too much of the pros on TV. Even the girls now are starting to flop a little bit. So you never know whether it's an injury or trying to draw a flag. Clock had stopped for some reason. The official was to the near side. He went all the way over to the far side. And we got the coach coming out. I didn't see a player go down. But there's a player. No, I think what it was our bag for our camera was out on the field and they had to go get it and move it. And now they're trying to move our camera. Our camera getting ready for the football game was in play, and they had to move it. And they put it over on the track. Getting ready for the football game, we had our cameras lining up. And for a minute, I thought it was a player that went down, but it wasn't. It was the camera bag and the camera that was right on the out-of-bounds line for soccer. It's way out of the play for football, but it was right on the line for soccer. So they had to go get it and move it. We're in the final 5 minutes of this sudden death overtime. St. Mary's drills it. They put it on net. It was going in. Lewis made the save. And we got slide takedown by St. Mary's. Auburn will get the free kick. Knocked out by McCarron as we got 4 minutes and counting. McGrail will put it in play for Auburn. So this looks like it's going to come down to the two goaltenders who can make a save. They knock it deep, looking for a break. 1-on-1. They centered it, but there was nobody there to center it to. They didn't take the shot. They tried to center the pass, but there was nothing but white shirts to center it to. So St. Mary's had an opportunity. And Auburn will knock it out. Maroney will put it in play. Popped in the air. And booted away. Booted deep. They knock it by Cornell. They can't go get it. It's going to go out of play. Trying to knock it deep. Auburn knocks it away. Maroney hustling, gets it by. Gets it back. Pops it up. It goes wide right and out of play. And we're down to the final 2 minutes as Auburn makes a couple of substitutions. So 2 minutes and counting away from a shootout to determine who moves on in Division III and who goes home. Pop straight up. And Auburn went down, no call, and is kicked out of play by Auburn. Maroney's pass deflected away. Auburn picks off the pass and kicks it away, headed away by Cornell. Knocked deep. Auburn looking for a break. Down that far side. Picked off by St. Mary's, and they knock it out of play. Time winding down in this sudden death. Overtime. Knocked away. And St. Mary's will knock it deep. Auburn knocks it back. McCarron knocks it upfield, bounces by. St. Mary's will collect. It skips past. Lewis comes out and knocks it away. St. Mary's couldn't get the loose ball. Lewis is still down. Miller was on top of Lewis. Lewis couldn't get up, but the ball was bouncing away and St. Mary's couldn't get a shot. The net was wide open if they could have got a shot. They got a couple of St. Mary's players down. One on the near side, one on the far side. And we got another upfield, 3 St. Mary's players. Miller went up, tried to get a head on it over the goaltender. He went down. The goaltender went down. The ball was loose. St. Mary's trying to get control. They couldn't get control. The ball was bouncing away. They had it wide open net, but they couldn't get a shot. And then there were St. Mary's players down all over the place. They're all getting up. Bill is walking out under his own steam. Can't be a lot of time left in this sudden death. And they're going to have Auburn kick it away. They drop it like a face-off. Auburn knocks it out. Popped up, bounces by everybody. Maroney slid, couldn't get it. And they call Auburn offside. The ball got deflected. They were going. They blow the whistle. So still nothing to choose between these two teams in this Division III preliminary game. It's still St. Mary's nothing, Auburn nothing, and we're going to go to a shootout. Okay, now, whatever side they go, if they shoot from here or they shoot there, get the number of each shooter, both teams, and get it to me before they shoot. Wait a minute. Another 10 minutes? Yeah. Never mind. We're going to play 10 more minutes. Then we go shoot up. You think? I want to go eat. Can we sit down and get food? Go ahead. Here we go again. I thought it was going to be the first 10 and then a shootout, but it's not. It's another 10 minutes. 10 minutes, sudden death. Both teams are going to be worn down. They'll sleep well tonight. Miller gets around again. Pushes it through. And he got a foot on it again, but couldn't center it. He nicked it at the side of the net. Great effort by Nick Miller. St. Mary's only has 5 seniors. Maroney, Wood, Garcia. Those are 3 of the regular players. Miller trying to center it. Knocked away. Auburn knocks it deep. They blow the whistle. We got a St. Mary's player down away from the play. Nicole Gagnon, the trainer, does a great job for St. Mary's, coming out to check. Hopefully it's just a cramp. .38 left in this second sudden death overtime. Nobody can put the ball in the net. Nobody. Most of the time, they can't get a shot on net. Everything has been wide right, wide left, or way up over the net out of play. Anything that's been on net has come from long range. Carino had to make one save from long range, belt high, and that's been basically it. Everything else has missed the net completely. The 2 teams huddling as they check on the St. Mary's player down at the 25-yard line. And it's probably from exhaustion. We've gone 90 minutes without anybody scoring or really coming close. And add on a couple of minutes here in this second sudden death. So if nobody scores here, we could have played 100 minutes of soccer without anybody scoring. And now, I think this is Maroney. And he's really favoring his right leg or right ankle, and the coach is actually going to carry him off. I think that's Coach McCarron. He was really favoring that right leg or right ankle. Good job by the coach. With the trainer, Nicole Gagnon, scurrying around. She's going to check on when they get to the sideline. And we're going to get back to soccer. We still have a football game left to play. It's supposed to start at 6:30. So we're back to soccer. And here's St. Mary's banging it to Auburn. They'll get a free kick just inside midfield. It's going to be at the 45-yard line. They gained 5 yards. They drill it wide right of the net. Auburn couldn't save it. St. Mary's will get to kick it away. Auburn will make a substitution. They get it back. Wood couldn't get a foot on it. Just a couple of steps out in front. Auburn blocks it. And it bounced up and got him on the hand, I think, as he was kicking it. St. Mary's will get the free kick. From the 40-yard line, McCarron will take it. Drills it. Auburn knocked it down, and Auburn clears it away. Cornell headed it back, popped straight up in the air. High pop-up. Cornell knocked it loose. St. Mary's gets around the defense, pushes it up. Coming down, trying to get the shot off, couldn't. They waited a little too long to take the shot. Defense picked up and just blocked it. It skipped past Wood. Just, they got a piece of his foot and the ball as he was taking the shot, and it just kind of trickled in. And we got players down again. Wood was down, but he got back up again. The player on the far side, St. Mary's, went down, is still down. Clock shows 5:46 left in his second sudden death overtime. Still, nobody with what you'd call a legitimate shot on net. Let's see if the coach has to carry another player off. Coach McCarron and Nicole Gagnon working on the player. So another St. Mary's player goes to the sideline. We hope everybody's going to be okay. I don't think it's anything serious. Lewis will kick it away. St. Mary's trying to walk in. It goes out. And they're calling it off St. Mary's. Actually, they're calling contact against St. Mary's. They'll get the kick. It'll be a corner kick, but it's going to be kicked upfield rather than to the net. St. Mary's picks it off. Headed away. St. Mary's keeps it in. Trying to get by. He pushed it by, but then St. Mary's blocked it. And it's going to go out off St. Mary's. And Auburn got knocked down. The two most rested guys in the field are the two goaltenders. They knocked it wide right. He walked in alone, all by himself walking in. That's the best chance of the night. He walked in, drilled it, and he missed it to the right side, out of play. Logan Costa. Actually, it was Alessandro Castro. That looked like lights out for St. Mary's. Boy, the St. Mary's got a break there. He was all by himself walking in. And that was going to be lights out. Headed away by Cornell. Again, he's played very well. Auburn takes it away. They knock it deep, looking for another break. St. Mary's is blocking it, lets it go out of play. But if Auburn doesn't win this game, they're going to look at that last play and really shake their head and say, we had them. Our best chance of the night, walking in alone. He could have gone a little further. He took the shot maybe a little early. And missed the net, which is what Auburn has done basically the entire game. Miller's pass is picked off. Trying to get around Cornell, can't. Bodies go down. They didn't call anything. Auburn's not happy about that. Cornell took the player down. We're in the final 2 minutes and counting. They knock it deep. Carino will come over and play it. He'll take his time and kick it away. High and deep past midfield. Headed by Miller. Auburn takes it away. Knocked upfield. Miller keeps it in. They try to lead Miller. They couldn't. Auburn picked it off. See, Mary's coming down that far side. Try to get it to the net. Headed away by Auburn. Their defense has played really well. St. Mary's keeps it in. Auburn knocks it away. It's going to go out of play. And we're moments away from a shootout here. I thought we had a shootout before. After the first 10 minutes, I didn't know they were going to play 2 10-minute periods. Popped up. Auburn heads it away. They blow the whistle. And here we go. Now I can tell you, it's going to be a shootout. So it'll be left up to the 2 goaltenders. When we come back, it'll be shootouts for both teams. 0-0 at the end of regulation and 2 10-minute sudden death periods. We're going into a shootout to see who moves on in Division III. We're back at Manning Field as we're getting set for the shootout that'll decide the winner here. St. Mary's will start it off. Anthony Gomez will be the first kicker. Lewis in net, all by himself now. It's all up to the goaltenders now. Great save. Lewis. And I always say it's a tremendous save, but he guessed right. He's got that entire net. He has to guess whether he's going for the far side or the near side. He broke right in the right direction, made a tremendous save. Omar Abu Lal. He'll look to give Auburn a lead. Carino now in net, trying to do what Lewis did, come up with a big save. Carino makes the save. We still can't put the ball in the net. Kaya Jackson. I think he's the leading scorer for St. Mary's. He's going to look to give St. Mary's an edge, as the goaltenders have been outstanding the first 2. And he does it again. That was ticketed inside the near post. Tremendous save by Lewis. Unbelievable. You heard me say many times, that's the Grand Canyon that they're defending.
23.
Wyatt Diamond will be the kicker, trying to give Auburn a jump again. This is unbelievable. If they make one save, it's huge. He knocks it home. And Auburn grabs the lead. Mark Wood will try to even it up, although Auburn has the edge now. Carino's going to have to come up with another save, and St. Mary's going to have to put the ball in the net. That's the first ball in the net after 100 minutes of soccer. And after 2 tries. He knocks it home. But Auburn still has the edge. Carino has to make a save to keep it 1-1. Anthony Gavassi is the shooter. Carino makes the save. So we're back to dead even. Two outstanding goalkeepers. Derek Garcia is the kicker. He knocks it home. So now St. Mary's has the edge. If Carino can come up with a save. Finn O'Donnell will be the kicker. Just under the top crossbar. Nick Miller will try to give St. Mary's an edge. We're down to the 5th shooter for each team. This is pressure on both the goaltender and Miller. If Miller doesn't knock it home, Auburn's got a chance to win it. He bangs it home. Caleb Abora will be the shooter. Knocked it home. And we're still dead even. Ida Solis will be the kicker. And again, extremely important. If he makes it, the pressure is on Auburn. If he misses, the pressure is on Garino to make a save. We couldn't decide this in regulation, in 2 sudden death overtimes. Now we're down to a shootout. The goaltenders are center stage, and they've been outstanding. He knocks it home. And the pressure is on Garino, and the pressure is on Auburn to try and tie it up. Nicholas Almeida is the kicker. A save by Garino would win it for St. Mary's. And we keep going. No. Knocking it home. I take it back. I was confused with the numbers. There is a 36. I thought it was 36 Auburn. That was Brody McCarron. Brody McCarron knocking it in. So here we go again.
21.
Aiden McGrail, the kicker. Knocks it home. Cade Cornell, he's played all terrific during the game. He was outstanding defensively. Knocks it home. Pressure again on Auburn and Garino. Brian Cavanaugh trying to keep it going for Auburn. Garino trying to end it. Can't. So on and on we go. Nobody wants to go home. Maybe they should combine the two teams and move on to Division III. Dylan Maroney, he's back. He was hurt initially a couple of times. Maroney, we'll see what he can do. And hit the crossbar, bounced and bounced in. He got a break there. He got a very fortuitous bounce.
22.
Asian Boscolo. Again, trying to tie it up. Auburn loses this. It's going to be a tough bus ride home. He knocked out. Garino got a piece of it. And St. Mary's is going to move on. Garino outstanding in net. He didn't have to do much during the games, but in the shootout, he came up with a couple of huge saves. And St. Mary's will win it. The final shot, they got a huge break when Dylan Maroney shot. hit the top crossbar, bounced down, and then bounced in rather than out. And it gave them an advantage. And then Garino made a huge save. It's going to be an awful, difficult loss for Auburn. It's going to be a tough, almost 2-hour bus ride home. They're going to be thinking about this all the way home, especially that breakaway that they were out in front and didn't go further to take the shot. They took it too soon and kicked it wide right. That was their best chance. Nobody really had any big chances during the regulation or the 2 sudden death overtimes. We played 100 minutes of soccer, and nobody could put the ball in the net. They went back and forth. Auburn had an advantage. Garino made a big save. Then they just went match head-to-head. And it was Wood, Garcia, Miller, Solis, McCarron, Cornell. They were matched head-to-head by Auburn. And then Maroney stepped up, knocked it in the net, and Garino came up just getting a piece of the shot, knocking it out. And St. Mary's is going to survive, and they'll move on. They'll be on the road, but they'll be very happy. Their season will extend. They'll have at least one more game left in the 2022 season as they'll move on in Division III, winning it 7-6 in the shootout over Auburn. They finally pick up their 12th win of the season, and they'll move on in Division III. And Auburn, they had a great year, but they have to be shaking their heads going home. Nobody could put the ball in the net for 100 minutes of soccer, and then the goalies came to light, and a couple of huge saves by Garino gets it done for St. Mary's, and they win it in the shootout over Auburn. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.